Okay, now we are in week 2. This week we're going to be talking about writing instruction and text structures. Writing instruction is very important because it's often really overlooked in schools. And there's a lot of reasons for this. Typically, as teachers and educators, we do a very good job focusing on reading, and we give our students all the tools and skills they need for reading. However, the same cannot be true of writing for every teacher. A lot of teachers feel very insecure in their own writing abilities. If you ask a teacher to write, they don't feel confident doing that, which is one of the #1 reasons why we don't see a lot of writing instruction in schools. However, the research tells us that writing is very important to children's development, and it's going to be very important when they enter their careers, no matter what career they have. So that's what makes writing instruction, our topic for this week, so important. In addition to that, there's a lot of new research about text structures and how text structures can be used for both reading and writing instruction. So we're going to cover both of those. So your tasks for this week, you have 4 articles, but you're only going to choose 2 of those to read. So what I suggest you do is just download all 4 and then look at the different titles and pick the ones you think will be most interesting. They're all fantastic, but they all cover slightly different content. There's a very short video about using sources in writing that I want you to watch. You have a PowerPoint for week 2, and then you also have your text set presentation that you're going to be putting together. This really comes from the week 1 content, a little bit of the week 2. This is an individual assignment that you will complete, and I will go over once I get into the folder. So you'll click on the folder, you see your objectives there. The 4 articles, you only have to choose 2 of those. A short video that takes you to YouTube, the PowerPoint for the week 2 presentation, and then here is your text set presentation and the submission tab for it. So if you click here, you'll be able to see the description of the assignment. It's worth 30 points, and it's due on April 17th. I know this is April 10th, but it's April 17th. But what you're going to be doing is creating a text set that includes at least 7 resources for a specific topic. So you're going to choose the topic. Down here I give you several examples from a variety of content areas. You can pick whatever topic you want. Now your sources, the 7 resources, have to fit some different criteria here. So you need to have at least 1 resource that's digital. So you can have more than 1, but at least 1 has to be digital. So a video or a website, a virtual field trip, just something that's multimedia. You need to have at least 1 resource that is literary, like a children's book, a poem, a short story. Of course, you could have 3 or 4 children's books in your text set. And then your other 3 have to be, include some other resources like infographics, informational text, print and digital. You can also consider posters. You can bring in chapter books, really any kind of text, but you do want to have a balance between some fiction and nonfiction, digital and print. And what you're going to do is put all this information together into a presentation. The presentation will have slides in it, and you can determine if you want 1 slide per resource. If you want to put multiple sources on 1 slide, that's fine. But what you need to do is you need to list the 7 resources. You need to include images. They can be images from the website if you chose a website. They can be the cover of the book if you've chosen a book. And then what you need to do is describe each resource, critique it, so talk about the readability, talk about the concreteness, the cohesiveness, what makes this a good text, or are there some limitations to it, like it's got really great images, but maybe it's a little less concrete, so you need to pair it with something else. And you're going to analyze the usefulness of the sources. So there may be some sources you include because they give a great overview, but they don't challenge the children very much. They're very lower level text. And then you might want to pair those with some higher level text. And then you're also going to include at least one slide where you synthesize all of the sources, so where you talk about them as a whole. The idea behind a text set is you want all of the components to work together to teach the topic, but you want them to also be able to work for individual purposes. So that's really what you're analyzing here in the text set presentation. Again, this is an individual assignment, and you'll go back into the week 2 folder and you'll submit it here by April 17th. So I know the document I just showed you said April 10th. It is in fact April the 17th.